Did you know that gene synthesis is like building a custom Lego set, but instead of using plastic bricks, scientists use small pieces of DNA to create new genes. These genes can be designed to do all sorts of things, like helping researchers study how diseases work. As one can imagine, gene synthesis raises several ethical and political questions. For example, there are concerns that gene synthesis could be used for military purposes, such as creating bioweapons. There are plenty of other domains in which gene synthesis could have a tremendous impact, and there is therefore an essential need for global governance. And this is where IBBIS comes in.
IBBIS is a new international organization that was created to safeguard modern bioscience and biotechnology so we can advance and flourish safely and responsibly. The first biotechnology IBBIS will focus on safeguarding gene synthesis. Over the past 2 decades, companies have emerged delivering DNA and RNA sequences to scientists worldwide. Most gene synthesis companies screen their orders to make sure they aren't sending pathogen or toxin sequences to malicious actors. However, the minority of providers who don't screen is a real security vulnerability. In 2020, an international working group called for the creation of a mechanism to address this vulnerability and prevent illicit DNA synthesis and misuse. This led to the development of the Common Mechanism, a set of free open source tools that will give every DNA provider access to affordable synthesis screening.
There are 2 questions that synthesis providers need to answer before fulfilling an order. Number 1, is this DNA or RNA sequence risky? And number 2, if so, is this customer a safe person to send the sequence to? The Common Mechanism offers tools for both sequence and customer screening. Our software tool supports sequence screening by comparing ordered sequences against a curated database of sequences of concern. We flag matches to regulated toxins, sequences from regulated viruses, and sequences associated with pathogenicity in regulated bacteria or fungi. To support customer screening, we offer tools like flowcharts, which encourage companies to do basic screening, like checking a customer's affiliation or their shipping address during onboarding, and then more detailed screening, like checking for institutional biosafety approval if an order is flagged by sequence screening. It's an exciting time for global governance of gene synthesis technology. Policymakers in various countries are considering introducing legal mandates to require screening of synthesis orders, partly in response to rapid advances at the intersection of AI and biotechnology. The Common Mechanism aims to impact global governance by providing a free sequence screening tool, which will make it easier for companies to comply with screening mandates and easier for policymakers to implement them. We also believe that because the Common Mechanism is open source and housed within an international organization, we'll be able to make screening more universally accessible. Going forward, IBBIS intends to work with other screening tool providers to define standards that can be used and trusted around the world, while continuing to offer the Common Mechanism as a shared global baseline for gene synthesis security, ultimately increasing the overall fraction of global orders that are screened.
IBBIS will continue developing practical tools to strengthen biosecurity norms and reduce the risk of accidental misuse or deliberate abuse of modern bioscience and biotechnology. Our activities will broaden over the time as we collaborate with the stakeholders in the biotechnology industry, across research and academic communities, and in national governments. If you want to learn more, keep up with our work, check out our website ibbis.bio and follow us on social media.